it's hope, it's encouragement, it's excitement about what God has done and how He's protecting His people and taking care of evil in the world. My favorite chapter in the whole Bible is Revelation 8.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman, Logan Crawford.
They now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're diving into one of the Bible's most mysterious and often misunderstood books, Revelation. The name of the book we're talking about today, Unraveling Revelation, and it is written by a terrific author by the name of Deron Smith. And in the book, he offers a fresh, gospel-centered perspective that focuses on encouragement, clarity, and transformation rather than theological confusion. With a style that's readable, uplifting, and rooted in hope, the author's work shows how Revelation's timeless message can inspire faith and excitement in today's world. We're delighted to have this wonderfully talented author join us here today on Spotlight, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his amazing book. The links are below this interview. Deron, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you. Thank you. I really enjoy the opportunity.
It's great to have you on the show. I appreciate your insight and your wisdom when it comes to this important book of the Bible, the final book of the Bible, Revelation. What inspired you to explore it and unravel it for us?
Well, several things really. I'm not an author. I'm not an expert, but I was interested in Revelation, like many people are, and I had an opportunity to teach it in Bible class to adults several times. So I got to know, I got a pretty good handle on it, but I was disappointed in many of the resources out there. They seem to be, well, a lot of them, I think, were more of a hindrance than a help for people to understand Revelation. A lot of people had so much technical jargon that an average person's not going to understand it. And then a lot of commentators would have so many different options as to what something meant that you didn't know what, in the end result, what you were supposed to take. So I just felt that there was just so much confusion out there that that I could do something better. And then when I read Vince Poscente's book, The Ant and the Elephant, that really inspired me because I saw how what he taught in The Ant and the Elephant really is how you should be reading Revelation, using the images and the emotions to motivate you from away from the things that are evil to the things that are good.
Why do you believe Revelation is often misunderstood or even feared?
Well, I think, there's a lot of strange creatures and events that throw people off, but also people being the last book of the Bible and having reference to end times, people look to it for an end times calendar, or what events should we be looking for to know when Jesus is returning, what the sequence of events will be, and that's not what it's meant for. It's meant to be prepared for the end times, not to teach us how the end times are going to come about and what to expect.
What do you think the basic message of Revelation is for readers? What's your interpretation if you were going to give us a broad stroke of what John is saying there?
It's hope, it's encouragement, it's excitement about what God has done and how He's protecting His people and taking care of evil in the world. My favorite chapter in the whole Bible is Revelation 8. The first few verses there talks about the prayers of the saints going to the altar right before God, and God, that is God's central focus on the prayers of the saints. So it's very encouraging and uplifting book if it's looked at from the right perspective.
There are other aspects such as the lake of fire, which most people interpret to be hell, that are disturbing. Talk to us about that aspect of Revelation.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of scary things in Revelation, and as there should be. I mean,
Mhm.
if I live an unrighteous life, then I should expect that fiery end. Um, so the whole idea of Revelation is to use your emotions so that you are driven away from things you don't want and encourage you to go to things you do want. For instance, there's a wedding scene, there's the throne room scene. All these things are beautiful and exciting. And so why wouldn't I live a life that takes me in that direction?
Exactly. I mean, it is about judgment, but Judgment Day can be a glorious thing, a day of hope, a day of eternal life, or it can be a day of darkness and a day of fire, depending on how you live your life. And that's what's unique about Christianity is that we're not predestined or predetermined. We have to live a Christ-like life if we are going to have his eternal promise of salvation, right?
Right, right. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's one of the you look through Revelation. There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of scary stuff. There's a lot of judgment going on, but there's also the beautiful things. It's interesting. You go back to uh, the Old Testament, and Moses, before he's about to die, talks about what's going to happen if you live a righteous life, and this is the blessing you're going to have. And he only spends 14 verses on it. And then he talks about the curses that are going to happen if you don't follow or aren't obedient to God. And there's 56 verses. It's
Yeah.
almost a 1-to-4 ratio. So it's because the good things, pleasant things, pull us gently, but the scary things push us with force. So it's that all those judgment things are to help us be motivated away from the things that will be judged.
It's there to motivate you to live a righteous life, that there are consequences at the end of this life, and it might not be pearly gates for you if you haven't lived a righteous life. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Um, how do you feel churches can better teach Revelation to inspire hope instead of fear? I have a lot of authors come on recently who are talking about end times and what they can point to in Revelation that proves that the end times are near. What are your thoughts about all of that?
Well, I don't think that's the purpose of Revelation. I mean, it was written to people 2,000 years ago who were dealing with Roman persecution.
Mhm.
And here we are 2,000 years later, we're dealing with a lot of negative things on earth. You name it, you look around, don't take you long to see. So we're dealing with the same things they dealt with. So the question really is not when is he coming? The question is, am I living a life that he will be pleased by when he comes? And that's what my belief and what I teach that Revelation is about.
Exactly. And anybody who's been the victim of a crime or loved one's been the victim of a crime is hoping for eternal damnation for these people who have hurt them so badly. I mean, basically, what we're talking about is ultimate justice.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
ultimate justice can be great. The good shall be rewarded, they shall inherit the earth and beyond. But the people who have lived a life that's not righteous, not in accordance with the ways of the Lord, deserve to be punished. I mean, we're not being mean here. I mean, in this day and age of where everybody gets a trophy, there is good and there is bad. There is evil in this world,
Yes.
unfortunately,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Just be careful which trophy you get.
exactly, exactly, exactly. What was it like writing this book and taking a deep dive into Revelation?
Well, I mean, it was actually pretty easy for me, really, because I had taught it so many times.
Mhm.
So I had all the notes prepared already. So it's just a matter of putting them in a book form, which of course that was a new thing for me. But I gotta give credit to Gretchen Rubin here of the Happier podcast. In 2023, near the end of 2023, she was encouraging people to write for 24 minutes a day in 2024, 24 for 24 minutes. And so that's a good idea. So I will start writing my book finally, and just plan on 24 minutes a day. And so I put an alarm on my phone, like 3 o'clock in the afternoon or whatever, to remind me, hey, don't forget to write for 24 minutes. So I would some days spend 24 minutes and get nothing down. And other days I get in a roll, and by the time I would be there a couple hours and just enjoying the flow. So so I started January 1st, and by mid-December, there I had a book. So
Amazing, amazing. It's amazing how much happiness and joy you can find in creating.
oh yeah.
So that was a great advice that host gave you in that podcast, no doubt. Speaking of creating, are you thinking about writing any more books now that you've started with this one?
Oh yes. I want to write another book on the Bible. So I'm started on that. Because I think it's going to be easier for me. I have the notes already from things I've done in the past, but I want to write. I want to write a novel, and that's where I think it's going to take a lot more effort. I mean, harder to write a novel than writing something that I've studied in the past that's factual or religious. So, and I also have I've had several interesting events in my life. So at some point, I would probably get around to writing a autobiography.
Sounds great. Sounds great. I've got some advice. Spend 24 minutes a day writing your novel, and before you know it, you'll have a book, right?
Hey, wonder who told you that?
That's a little unique advice there, right? Same thing true with your memoir. Spend 24 minutes a day, and then you'll be all set.
Yep,
Great. Well, you've
yep.
done a wonderful job on this book. It's something that's near and dear to your heart, and we're delighted that you shared it with the world by putting it down on the page. The name of the book is Unraveling Revelation. It is an inspiring, hope-filled guide to understanding one of the Bible's most powerful messages. Deron, thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed the conversation.
I enjoyed speaking with you as well, and I appreciate your insight and your wisdom on this wonderful topic. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.